Okay, boys, can you hear me? I bet you can, so I'm just gonna keep going. Alright, so I'm about to start stream, and by about to start stream, I mean, oh fuck, I wasn't gonna do that. I thought I was gonna be a really cool guy, and like, start talking when the music stops, but that didn't work. So, wait, shit. Okay, what is up, guys? It is Singleplayer Sunday. It is me, Larfen, and I want to, before I get into our usual proceedings, I'd like to do a quick explanation. So, I was supposed to have one of these streams 2 weeks ago, because, you know, it says in the description that this is a bi-weekly. Bi-weekly means once every other week. And once every other, and also, it's been 4 weeks since the last stream. So the reason for that is that 2 weeks ago, I basically made like a quick decision that I'm gonna go visit my dad in Ohio. And then when I made that decision, I, being a forgetful, stupid child, forgot that I had to do a stream. So, I didn't do a stream that Sunday. I was too busy hanging out with my dad. So, there you go. That's the explanation. That's why I disappointed all of you. So, I'm sorry about that. And then I would have made up for it the next week. Like, if I missed a week, I'd probably do it next week normally. But then the problem with that was I got my wisdom teeth removed the Thursday before that. And I don't know if any of you guys have gotten your wisdom teeth removed before, but it kind of hurts, like, a lot. And then they put you on a bunch of pain pills, and you basically turn into a blob that can only lay in a bed and do nothing for, like, a couple days. And those couple days happen to coincide with the normal time for me doing my stream. So I also did not stream last week. So, without further ado, I have a stream this week. So, since all of you loyal fans waited out for me and came back in full force, we can all play Tora Bash together. Because isn't that all we ever wanted? Alright. So, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to make a replay. We're going to put on the main camera. Here we go. We're going to play some music. Oh shit. Alright. So, get into that free play. I need to open up my Twitch chat. Everyone's talking about how hot I am. Awesome. Alright. So, let's see. I don't know why I'm starting a new replay. I don't know how many of you guys do this, but when I make replays, I don't finish them. I don't know why I do this. So I probably have like 6 or so works in progress that have not been finished, and I probably should finish, but I don't like finishing replays. It's not fun. Finishing replays is way less fun than making the openers, I think. Which was way different than what I used to think. I used to think making openers like sucked ass. But now I think that it's the only fun part about making replays. I don't know why people are surprised I'm not wearing a beanie in the middle of summer. I mean, it's kind of hot out, if you didn't notice. I don't watch numbers, so I don't know what guy I look like. I'm sorry, Nuthug. But if he's on a TV show, then he's probably hot, right? Oh, that's kind of neat looking. So I'm gonna just see if I can do some goofy little flip here. Maybe I want to contract this knee. That's not a knee, that's an ankle. You'd think I'd be decent at like using the camera at this point, but I'm not. I don't know if you guys noticed that I started this replay in Sambo, but that's just the kind of badass I feel like right now. I did not do anything different with my hair. The only difference is that the only thing I could think that would make a difference with my hair is that I was just at the gym, so maybe I'm sweaty. So, any difference you see in my hair might just be a lot of sweat. Okay, that looks pretty cool, actually. Okay, now I need to figure out what the fuck to do from this point. I always shower. This is what I look like when I don't shower, Nuthug. I don't think you understand. This is me not showering. This is me being dirty as fuck. I might have the FPS capped to something low. Oh, I have the FPS capped to 20, actually. But I did that because my internet sucks. And I don't want to risk having anything higher than 20 FPS. I need to figure out what the fuck to do with this. Because this is a good opener, actually. Okay, I think I figured it out. Just gotta rotate that chest. I don't actually know what I'm doing, you guys. I'm sure you're used to this at this point. Like I've said before, I think everyone thinks that they're bad at Torbash. I don't think there's anyone who actually thinks they're good at this game. I don't even know what this looks like. I don't know if I'm into that. Okay, 1 second. I have a cord that's messed up back here, so I need to take a quick intermission and fix this. Okay. Alright, we're back. We're back, I fixed it. Okay, now I need to figure out what the fuck do this replay. Okay, first I'm gonna save it though. The cool thing about Sambo is that you get to go fast. It's really hard to go fast in classic gravity because then you'll just you'll spring yourself off the ground too hard, and then that makes everyone sad. Wow, someone's being mean to me, saying you can't go fast in classic gravity, you suck. I'm sorry, I guess I suck then. Ooh, I can do a head spin. But I do suck. I didn't think I'd made that clear. I don't know if that looks good at all. Okay, yeah, my fucking hands on the ground look awful. But also, I don't know, I personally have trouble going fast in classic gravity. Because I don't know, it's like I push myself, if I go fast, I push myself off the ground too hard. And I just go flying, and going flying is really, really, really bad. Puzka does go fast and negative in classic gravity, but Puzka is way better than I am, I think. Ooh, I think I got it. Maybe how you can extend this. Ooh, yes! Yes, that's the Puzka strategy. Use extended wrist. Use extended wrist on the ground after contracting. I use the mouse to play. I need to fucking use the mouse to click to move it onto the joints. But yeah, if you don't use the I don't know, I think using the keyboard buttons is way, way, way useful. And if you don't use it, then you're not even a real replay maker. Like, the keyboard buttons are so useful. People in the stream chat are talking about it. It's just, I mean, Z toggles extend and contract. X toggles hold and relax, and then C toggles hold all and relax all. And that's just the most convenient thing ever. Oh, yes! This is actually really sick. Now I just need to figure out what to follow this up with. Man, why do I have to hit Uke in replays? Hitting Uke is so lame. It sucks. It's my least favorite part of replays. I don't know why I haven't become a realism replay maker yet. I think it's just because I like being goofy too much. Because realism is also too confining. I don't know, I have a weird philosophy with replays, I think. But, like, I don't know, Uke Bash replays, it's like you have to hit Uke, which sucks. In realism replays, you have to look realistic, which sucks. Because both those are, like, inherently confining. I think I want to start making replays that are outside of both of those genres. Just sort of, like, move around. I've experimented with it before, but I haven't actually put a lot of effort into it. And I think that would, I think that would be good for me. Okay, that's not a good follow-up to this opener. I need to make that better. I need to start from here. Okay, that's better. People are gonna yell at me for ghosting again. I really don't think ghosting is very bad at all in replays. Most of the time. Sometimes ghosting can look bad, but I think most of the time it looks okay. Sometimes I ghost just because people say not to, just to fuck with them. And that's not even a joke, I actually do that. Like, I ghost because people say you shouldn't ghost, just to prove that I can. I've only been streaming for like 30 minutes, even less actually. I think I'm actually just gonna do a decap and then keep sort of dicking around, because I've been having fun doing that. So, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save that. I think that's pretty good for a decap. And now I just need to, now, I don't think I want to pose just yet. I think I want to dance around a little bit more, just because I've been having fun with that. And also, I've sort of been, I don't know how much you guys know about the classic replays. I've been thinking about doing a stream about like old replays, just to like show off some like old stuff that was really good. But if you've ever watched Chesda make a Chesda replay, when the dismemberments are over, the replay is not done yet. He like dances around, he does like hand spins. It's really cool, I think, and no one does that anymore. And I think that's a mistake. I think that people need to experiment with their movement a lot more and like dig around. Just because you haven't made any more, can't make any more dismemberments doesn't mean that you should just stop the replay there. You can just fuck around. Now I'm going to try and plant this right foot so it just barely... Oh, fuck. Okay, I should probably explain like some of the things I'm doing. I'm really bad about that. I just sort of like make the replay, because I don't know, I'm not used to explaining my thought process while I'm making replays. I need to get used to that. So, okay. My ankle broke, so I need to make sure that it doesn't, so I'm going to relax it for a sec so it doesn't break, and now it won't. And now I need to make sure that I want my right foot to like barely touch the ground, because if I leave it like this, then it pushes against the ground too hard, and it like throws me up in the air, and I don't want that. I want it to be sort of like, I want to move myself across rather than up. So I'm going to extend my glutes a little bit, just so I can get as little contact with the ground as possible. And see, from that, I'm pushing across rather than up now, you see? Okay, I can't abuse my extended abs in Sambo like I can in Classic. That sucks. I'm gonna contract my knee just a little bit so my foot doesn't touch the ground. Then let's see if I can do this really tight spin without falling over. This is the truest ballerina spin. This is really ballerina-esque. I'll even relax my neck so it can sort of extend back a little bit. Alright, let me just make sure this doesn't look terrible. Because sometimes it looks really good while you're editing it, and then it doesn't look good when you actually play it back. Kinda sucks. Okay, I need to make that a little bit smoother. Then if I relax this hip, no, that doesn't look good either. My feet are wrong now. I fixed my arms, but then I broke my feet. Not broke it, but I messed it up. I should have saved that. Because you don't know if you're going to be able to recreate the stuff that you did. I just had a conversation about that, actually, with Combat Bot. Well, actually, he spirals now. But, like, a lot of times you can do something and it looks amazing and then you forget to save it. And then you try and recreate it and you can't do it. It's the worst feeling ever. But hopefully I'll be able to fix it. We'll see. I might have to change it up a bit. Because this is looking not bad. It's a little bit more interesting even. Maybe I can just pose like this. Make it like a stork pose. Why wouldn't I be focused when I'm making a replay? I'm trying to make something beautiful. Nicholas Gotcha pretty much described my entire replay making style. So if you want to make replays like me, just listen to what he says. Extended abs, extended ankles, and opposite pecs. And then ballerina spins. That's how you make Larfen replays. Also, I think I fixed my ballerina spin. Maybe. We'll see. I stole contracted wrist from Puzga. That's a Puzga move. I totally stole that. That is not my invention. Actually, nothing I do is my invention. I mean, obviously. But I cannot take credit for contracted wrists. Oh hey, it's Zito. Cool. Zito's on the stream. Fuck, I don't know what to do. I made this replay way worse. I ruined everything. Fuck, I suck! Oh my god, I'm so bad. And now that I'm looking at it, the setup for my decap is actually pretty shitty. I think I actually might want to even change that. I'll want to change it during the stream though, I'll change it later. I'll change it when you guys aren't watching. I'll finish this replay though. Okay, let me open up one of my old whips. This one. Okay. Dude, after making decaps, I never know what to do. Cause usually I finish my replays after decaps, so I'm like kind of learning right now. I'm teaching myself what the fuck I'm doing after decaps. I need to broaden my horizons. I want to keep making the same replays like every fucking time. That'd be boring. I want to contract his wrist. I think it would look cool. Okay, to the people who think that my default replay I worked really hard on and tried to perfect or something, you are wrong. You are very wrong. The 6 dismemberment boom that I got was 100% luck. I was really only trying to get a decap on that replay. After I got a 6 dismemberment boom, then I tried to make it really good. But after I made the 6 dismemberment boom, I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that I make the rest of this replay really, really nice. But before that, I didn't know I was gonna be making a 6 dismemberment boom. Fuck. Why would I ever expect that? In all honesty, a lot of my very best replays were made in a very short time, comparably, And there are a lot of replays that I spent a shitload of time on that did not turn out very good. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying what happened. It's not like I did no work on my best replays, but it's like sometimes it just like comes to you. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But I've said in the past that many of the greatest replays you've ever seen probably happened by accident. Because, I mean, if you think about it this way, like, if you could just sit down and say, I'm gonna make the best replay I've ever made, and do it every time, then there would be a lot more really good replays. But you can't just sit down and say, oh, I'm gonna make the best thing ever, because that doesn't work that way. You gotta be like, it's not even you gotta be inspired, you just gotta have the right, you just gotta be in the right mood or something. I don't know how it works. If I knew how it worked, then I'd be making way better replays than I do. I don't know what the fuck is happening. This is the only problem with ghosting. When you ghost yourself, then you can never see what's going on. Tiptoes. Relax all. I don't know what that looks like. Okay, that's fucking awful. God damn, that's all terrible. I need to fix that. I'm just gonna sort of flop around. I'm way better at that than like being controlled. Flopping around makes way more sense. See, I think that's way better. It's like a crab. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see if I can make this landing though. This would be an easy landing if I was in classic gravity, but in this case it might be a little bit tougher. Relax all. Oh no! God damn it! My fucking ankle. I like that. I like that actually a lot. But I just need to make sure my ankle doesn't break. Damn it. Damn it. Why does the ankle gotta do this? This wouldn't happen in classic gravity. It wouldn't do me like this. Yeah, there we go. Hold all. Hold it. I figured it out. I think this post is unstable. I think it's very unstable. Let's see if I hold all and it works. Shook drew my profile picture. It's Larfen. It's me as a loaf of bread. Okay. I'm almost done. Ooh, tippy toes. Tippy toes pose. I don't know if I can make this work. Let's see if bending over backwards makes it any better. Alright. There! That is a replay right there. Where's my phone? Time to get that good old replay name. What do I got? What do we got today? I need to watch the replay to make sure I get the right one. We'll go with Class D Frail Gazer. It's a pun. Alright, so that's a replay. And that's part one of the stream. So, one second. In traditional stream fashion, I'm gonna switch to my camera real quick. And that's my first replay. You guys like that shit? I like that shit. I actually made a really good replay, I thought. But my hair sucks, damn. So I'm gonna take a quick break, like usual. and then I'm going to start and do my analysis. So, I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, I'm back. Can someone tell me how many viewers I have? That'd be nice. It looks like 28, I guess. Okay, neat. Good to know. Alright. Good to know. Oh, fuck. Shit. Alright. There it is. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's get this analysis show on the road. We're in it for part 2. Let's go. Alright, so this is my first week doing my new sort of policy for sending in replays, where it was my new policy for sending in replays, which is you guys send me an email. So to get a few things out of the way at first, if I chose 10 replays. That's what I'm gonna be. That's gonna be my standard from here on out. 10 replays. Number one, if I didn't pick your replay, I don't hate you. Okay. My goal when I'm picking my replays is to pick replays that I either find interesting, that I find easy to talk to talk about. I mean, replays that from people that I don't normally talk to. So, like, I don't know, when my friends send me in replays, I don't always do them, just because I talk to them all the time and I can tell them how good their replay is to their face. What else? I don't like talking about boring replays. I guess that's covered in point 2 that I talked about. That's interesting to talk to. I don't like talking about boring replays. Another thing. once again, I'm sorry about missing my stream from 2 weeks ago. I'm sure there's some confusion about that. So I just want to say, when you're sending in replays to me, please try to keep it to one replay at a time. I really, not even like one replay at a time. Send me a replay for me to talk about. That's all I want. I don't want to, if you send me in multiple replays, after this point, I'll talk about 0 of your replays. Okay? That's my policy from now on. So, if you send in more than one replay, I won't talk about your replay. Send in only one replay. That's all I want to look at. I want to look at a bunch of your replays and then pick which one I want to talk about. Okay? Just send in one and pick one. So, with all that being said, I'm going to begin the analysis. I should probably open up the folder that has all the replays in it, huh? I don't know if I should show you guys what replays are here before I start, but I'm not going to. So you guys are just going to you're going to sit around and hopefully you guys don't get mad that I'm keeping you in the dark about what replays have been chosen. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my main screen. Also, I'm going to turn off my webcam just because I feel like it adds nothing to this point at this point. So we're going to open up that first replay. Oh, I can shut off this too. Okay. So you can only send in one replay per show. That's what I want it to be. One replay per show would be really nice. So, here we go. First replay is Mainstream Hipsters by Nightshade. Nightshade classically has no set, as far as I know. Oh, I can turn on the speedometer and you guys can see it now. So, this is a manipulation, a favorite of things to send into my replay stream, but I was especially interested in this one because it is a Sambo manipulation, which I have also said is very hard to do in the past. So the fact that he does do a Sambo manipulation makes me want to talk about it. So here we go. We're going to talk about Mainstream Hipsters. So in this opener, I actually really like this opener. It's solid. There's nothing really bad to say about it. I mean, he's fallen over, and then he puts his hand on the ground, pushes off with his leg. That leg does a really good job to spin him around. He pulls himself in, gets some nice spins, pulls out of it real fast. And then I like how he smoothly slows down his spin, stops, and then does another spin. So I really like this whole opening sequence. He just does a really good job at flowing through, getting nice looking spins. Nothing really to complain about here. I do like the little kick at the chest here because like Yuke's about to fall over. And he's like, no, don't fall over yet. I'm not done with my opener. So he kicks him to keep him up for a little bit longer. Falls back. And I like this little sweep that he does with his leg here off of that too, because you'd think he'd want to touch the ground with that, but that would kind of like mess up the flow a little bit. So what he does, he just like keeps it off the ground and swings it around. I really like that. I really like that choice. Because it would be really easy to just put it on the ground after that. But he's like, nah, I'm gonna keep spinning because I'm a swag master. So puts both of his hands on the ground, swings that foot around, whips it right up, and then approaches Yuke. So I'm just gonna say that whole opener was pretty much awesome. It was a pretty fucking great opener. I don't really have much I can diss about that. Like, if anything, I had to go back to my normal complaint where it's like, So he has his knee on the ground here, and his foot comes off, and then he extends his knee and puts his foot back down. I don't think it's totally bad that he did that, but I'm gonna say that I think it could have looked better I think he could have done something to make that look better. I don't know exactly what. Maybe I just don't like how his foot looks when it kicks the ground. But I'm not too huge on that ground kick. But everything else in this opener is pretty fucking nice. So then he comes up to Yuke, scoops his arm under there, and then brings his other arm over to get the other arm. And so this is a really good beginning for Sama manipulation, because it's sort of like he's really using as much of his body as possible to lift Yuke, which is what you really need to do for a Sama manipulation, because Yuke is fucking heavy in this mod. I don't know if you guys know that, but Yuke is heavy as shit. So he's got to put a lot of effort into lifting him. So he's sort of like putting him on his shoulder to sort of lift him up. And he gets a really nice spin at the beginning there. So what else? Good lift. Continues it by getting his foot there, because that's the part that's going to fall down, so he needs to make sure that Yuke doesn't hit the ground. Lifts him with his arm. And you can see that while he's doing this manipulation, he's always in a very solid stance. Like, he has two limbs on the ground basically at any point that he's lifting Yuke, because you need to be very steady and you need to have a really solid base to lift Yuke like this. And he's keeping Yuke on his shoulders, because otherwise Yuke would fall down too quickly. So you really can't manipulate Yuke in the same way that you can manipulate him in a classic gravity replay. You can see Yuke almost touches the ground here, and I'm actually really impressed that Yuke does not touch the ground here. I think that's a really slick move that he did there. I need to look into that a little bit more. So it's in this case, I'd think how the fuck are you going to get Yuke to not touch the ground? But he just slides his foot under, and somehow just Yuke barely doesn't touch the ground, and he pushes him up again somehow. It's ridiculous, actually. I'm very impressed by this. I mean, he had to, if we take a look, where are we? So he's pushing around, blah, 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 blah. And if we take a look at, his actual movement here, it's not 100% smooth, but I'm not sure if I can complain, just because it's just so hard to lift Yuke like this. Right here, his movement is a little bit wonky. And he looks a little bit weird doing this, but it's more of a pragmatic approach that he's taking on this replay. It's just that, look at me, I'm actually manipulating in Sambo gravity. Lifts up, he sort of shovels him to get that ground decap. Which, I mean, it's got to be... I think that's really the only way you could have ended this replay. Because... I mean, if you're doing a Samo manipulation, you need, and if you're trying to end the manipulation in the normal sense, you've got to throw Yuke up in the air right above you, and then hope and make it so his head is facing down or something, so you can get a decap on him. And that's got to be fucking impossible. You need to lift him so hard, you're gonna look really shitty lifting him like that. So he's just I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna do a ground decap and just make sure that I did it on purpose. So he's hup, throws him up, ground decap. I am fine with that. I think that's a really good ending. So overall, I think that this is actually a very impressive replay. I wanted to talk about this just because I really like this replay. Nightshade has been submitting my stream for a while now, and he's gotten way better over the time I've been doing this. Like, this is not the same Nightshade that I saw the first time I saw him. So I'm really impressed by this replay. There's a little bit of, like, not great movements. There's a few not great movements, but I'm not going to really say that that's bad just because it's not like, you can't look great from, you're not going to look great just fucking doing a samba manipulation. I've said that in the past. Like, yeah, you can do a samba manipulation, and this is almost as good as it's going to get. But I think this is a really good example of a samba manipulation that I guess proves me wrong a little bit, that you can look decent doing a samba manipulation. So props to Nightshade for doing that, and also for not bruising his head somehow. So I really like this replay. Boom. 1 down. Next replay is going to be Tamale by Sidra. I probably should have downloaded this guy's set before I started doing this, but I was really lazy. So this is another manipulation. Like I said, I don't know. People like sending in manipulations to me because people like sending manipulations to me because I'm the manipulations guy, I guess. So we're gonna talk about this one. This is a fairly extended manipulation with some nice boom hits at the end. Someone's asking how many replays I got sent in. I believe I ended up with like 36 or something replays total. No, it wasn't 36. It was like 25. But that was also including the people who sent in more than one replay. I let the people who sent in more than one replay fly this time just because I don't think I explicitly said that you can't do that last stream. So, this looks like, this has got to be classic gravity. It looks pretty classic. It looks like a little bit heavier than classic though. Like a little bit higher, I feel like. Just because of that spin. Like, I feel like if you try to do this kind of spin, 1 second, let me slow down a little bit. If you try to do this spin in classic gravity, I feel like you'd like come off the ground more. I don't know. It'd look a little bit floatier. Also, I just want to point this out because I'm a nerd and I like bragging. But check out this. Check out that. He's using the opposite pecs. Boom. That's a strategy. It's not only me that does it. Turning your pecs the opposite way makes your... Oh, you can do that? That's amazing! Oh my god, I didn't know you could do that. Oh my god, Nuthug is giving me that next level knowledge. Okay. So, this was a negative 15 gravity replay. So good to know that. But he's using the opposite pecs to get a 6 spin. And then he comes around. By the way, this spin looks great. This is a good spin. My one complaint is that this follow-up, and I'm going to nitpick a little bit on this replay just because it's a fairly it's a pretty good replay. So I'm going to be a little bit picky with this. The follow-up from the spin is a little bit of a standard follow-up because, I mean, like I said, it's a little bit too easy. So it's like, you've seen a Tori do this kind of thing like tons of times, like pushing off with one leg and then coming in with a fist, and then like his other leg is forward. This is just a really standard position to be in. So I'm gonna say that maybe be a little bit more creative with the approach, because this is just like pretty simple. And then he comes up with the other hand, and pushes up Yuk higher. So at the very beginning of this manipulation, it's more of just a lift rather than a manipulation. But his point is, his goal in this replay was to get Yuk in the air, and then when Yuk was above him, then he can sort of like spin him around like a pizza or something. And that's what he does. So spin, lift, lift. Also, I want to say that the second lift is also a little bit standard. It's in the same sort of way. It's like his chest is in a really, like, once again, this is a really basic position to be in. Like, you're very familiar with being in this kind of way. Numbers was not always Numbers. His name used to be 40757. That's why he changed it to Numbers, because his name was literally a bunch of numbers. Fun fact for everybody. So he touches the bottom of the feet, doesn't really do much. That doesn't really do much. And then he takes the time that Yuk is up in the air to do a cute little spin. And I like that spin. It's very balanced. It's very Large Killa-esque, with like the held shoulders and the extended elbows. It's just it's exemplary of the modern style of replay making, of like being very balanced and like keeping yourself on your feet and all that. So now he needs to set up his manipulation. He pushes up that arm so he can get himself down there. And now he's under Yuk, so now he can start doing his pizza thing. So he gets on his feet, pushes him around. That's one little spin on him. And then I'm going to reference Large Killa a lot in this replay, because this looks inspired by the Jimi Hendrix Experience replay that's in the defaults that Large Killa made. It's a very similar manipulation style to that. Yeah, the guy who made this is saying that this was based on numbers. I would have never guessed that. I would have definitely guessed that this was based on Large Killa or Swex or something. So, as you can see, like he's keeping his feet planted and sort of just lifting Yuk above his head and spinning him around and spinning himself around at the same time. So, gets his hands there, switches his feet, rotates his chest. This kind of style is very similar to like a helicopter kick. It's sort of like you lift him up and then you rotate your chest, and then you lift him up again and rotate your chest. So it's like, it's a very, I don't want to say formulaic, but it's like I don't know. It's like, fucking, not repetitive either. It's like, because those words are too mean. But it's like the same strategy for each manipulating hit. Because he's mostly using his hands to get these manipulations. He's planting his feet on the ground and using his hands, and keeping himself very balanced. But he's doing a really good job, because I mean, it's very effective. It's very efficient, because you're getting a lot of spins, you're spinning yourself around. But you can see how it's like he's just using his hands, and he's just like planting his feet, and he's like rotating his chest in between the hands. So I'm gonna say, I just want to get some personal bias out of the way. I've told some people that I am actually not a huge fan of this style of manipulation. I think And I'm not going to say that I think it's bad, though. I'm just saying it's not for me, and I'm going to tell you why. I sort of touched on it while I was explaining here, but I believe that I just think these style of replays, it's like a bit too. It's a bit too like predictable. Like I can see. I was talking about how he's only using his hands and keeping his feet on the ground. And when I make manipulation replays, I'm really trying to use like as many different limbs as I can to like hit Yuke and like hit him hard, hit him fast. And I mean, I'm not gonna knock this because I don't think I could make this kind of replay. I really think I'm incapable of doing this kind of thing. But I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea. But I definitely respect it. I'm just gonna say. I'm not saying this is a bad replay. This is a very good replay. It's just not. It's not for me. I'm saying. So that's just a personal bias thing, and I'm not saying my opinion is right. I'm never saying my opinion is right, but that's just what I think. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my opinion, but I do want to say that when he does deviate from the style, I really like what he does. Like I'm gonna right here when he's flipping himself over and assuming the position initially, it's really nice because he's sort of like flipping over sideways. And then what is it here? What he does? Where is it? Right here. He sort of like brings his foot up and nicks the hand. I like that. And he keeps the hand up and keeps spinning. Flips him around. Lifts him up. Floop, floop. And then, when he finally finishes it, he does a really nice split punch. I really like how he sets that up. It's a really good and strong finishing hit for the manipulation. That's definitely skillful. I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate what happens after the manipulation fully. Gets that punch, grabs, and I love when people do this. I want to say that. I love when people do a split and then grab both halves. I think that's awesome. I've only done it like once or twice, and I think it's really sick when people do it. Because then it's like you're multitasking, and multitasking is hard. So then he gets the 2DM hit there, switches his hands, and then brings in his foot. How many dismemberments is that? That's 4. That's really sick. And then pose. So, I'm going to say that I've already explained how my bias against this kind of replay, so I'm not going to say it again. But the dismemberments are sick. The manipulation is skillful. So I'm going to give this replay my seal of approval because this is fucking awesome. Alright. I've actually never heard of this guy too, and that's why I wanted to talk about this. I'd never heard of this guy, and then he comes in and makes this sick shit. So I wanted to talk about it and tell him how awesome he was on stream. Okay. We got another replay coming in. This one's good. Oh, I need to download this guy. I know he has a set. DL ass in pro. This is nose full of jelly beans. Guess what? It's the manipulation. Assassin Pro. This dude. Ooh! Okay, I actually forgot about that. That's a sick skeet at the end. But Assassin Pro is a dude who I've had my eye on for a little bit. I think that he has a lot of really good potential for making replays. He has a unique style. He's good at manipulations. I really like... Also, I just want to note how I really like how there's this recent trend of people doing manipulation replays. And that just gets a warm feeling in my heart seeing everybody do manipulations, because I fucking love manipulations, and I think they're one of the most versatile types of replays that you can make. In all honesty, I think that manipulations have the most room for creativity out of almost any kind of out of almost any genre of replay. So I really like seeing people doing manipulations recently. And it's just like they have a really good like structure to them too. It's like you're playing around with them, you're flipping them around, and then you beat the shit out of them. It's awesome. I love them. I mean, I guess it's no secret at this point that I'm a manipulation fan, but oh fuck. But I just wanted to say why I like them, and I'm happy that people do them. So, we're going to talk about Assassin Pro. In this opener, I have a few gripes. Well, okay, Zito has a point. Hacking replays are probably more creative than have more room for creativity than manipulation replays. But I can't hack. Most people can't hack. So I'm going to say manipulations just because that's a more accessible form of replay making. So, in this opener I have a few gripes, like I was saying. Very beginning I have no problems with, but you can see that he has, like, he brings his leg down here, and he sort of kicks off of it, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that movement that he does here. It's like from the first 60 frames here, I'm all cool with. But then, like, this move that he does here, to transition into this, I feel like doesn't really fit in between the two sections. Like, this section is good, this section is good, and they both fit together, but the connecting section doesn't fit, I would say, in my opinion. But then he comes right in for the beginning of the manipulation, lifts up the arm, then brings around his leg to kick him up. Ooh, I didn't even notice that either. That's really sneaky. So, kicking Yuke in the chest, that's not a very efficient way to get Yuke spinning. It's a really good way to kick him up, but unless you're trying to get him to do like back flips or front flips, it's not really gonna net you much. But what he does is he brings down his hand and he sort of punches the leg here. And that really brings in a lot of the spins that comes in from that hit. So that's a really sneaky, nice manipulating hit right there with his hand. I'm gonna say that at this point, the replay like slows down for a second. His movement sort of like stops for a second. And then when he gets that, before he gets that kick on the head, I feel like he maybe could have gotten a little bit more, maybe flowed into that a little bit better. Like he sort of pokes the head with his hand, then comes up and kicks. I just spit on my screen. I don't know. I think there's some connecting move that he could have done to make that a little bit nicer, I think. But I do like kicks on the head for manipulations. They're actually very, very good for continuing spins. They're really tricky to do. Okay, I'll turn on the webcam. I won't turn on the webcam. I don't like having the webcam for the analysis because I really don't think it adds anything to the stream. But I think there could have been some connecting move to make that flow better. And also, what I was saying about heads is that kicking the head is really tricky because you need to make it look like you weren't trying to get a decap. But kicking the head is also very good for manipulations. So I think he did a very good job at making it clear that I am kicking the head for manipulation purposes only, and this is not a failed decap. I think he did that pretty well at this point. But I don't like how he got up into that position. Also, you can see that when he kicks the head, Yuke's hand sort of hits his leg, and that, I don't know what he could have done to avoid that, but I think that hitting the leg with his hand there definitely made Yuke spin less fast and made it lamer a bit. Okay, I'll turn on the fucking webcam. If Nut Hug demands it. Hey, look at me. Okay, but now you can't see the speedometer. Let me see, 1 second. I'll remember how to do this. Okay, sweet. Other side. Now you can see the speedometer. We're good. This is better. So then he comes up with his hand, manipulates, other hand manipulates. So he gets a few hand hits. But I like this manipulation more just because, like, I don't know, it feels like what the last manipulation we were looking at, he was more crouched down, and he had his hands up, and he's just sort of like spinning him around like that. But Assassin Pro, it seems like he's messing around with his movement more. He has more variety in his footwork, and I really like that. And also, Yuke is spinning pretty fast at this point with all these hits. He's getting some nice flips in there. Oh, is that an... Oh, fuck. I fucked up. Redo. Fudgy Balls is in the chat. It's no secret. I hope it's no secret at this point that I'm a huge Fudgy Balls fan. Fudgy Balls is an amazing replay maker. Just so you guys know, you should check out his replay thread. Fudgy Balls is the shit. So, get some hits, and now he's finished his manipulation, so now it's time for him to begin his experiments. So he comes up and gets that 3DM right there. Other leg. Oh wait, no, not other leg. I'm not sponsored by Fudgy Balls. Fudgy Balls is sponsored by Larfen. I love Fudgy Balls. He's not paying me to say this. I just love Fudgy Balls. He's amazing. Okay. But first boom is pretty sick. Gets this nice grab. Then brings in his other leg to get the second sick boom. That's 4 dismemberments. Then brings in his other leg to get another boom. Breaks his leg, and then he does the sickest thing ever. Oh my god. Fudgy Balls is saying Desrai should get this attention. He should too, once he starts making replays again. I haven't seen a Desrai replay in a super long time, and Desrai's amazing. I've been saying Desrai is amazing for a long time, actually. But, boom, boom, boom. Okay. I need to turn that back on. All of these hits are pretty sick. I don't have much complaining about them. The only little complaint I have about this dismemberment combo is that in between the first and second hits, there's a little bit of a pause that I don't like. It takes a little bit too long for him to go from that first to second kick. I think he could have done it a little bit faster. But third kick is nice. And then, so he hooks the foot on the wrist on his foot, sort of stomps the forearm off, and he's like ghosted into the wrist at this point. His foot is stuck in the wrist, which I don't know how the hell he did it, but it's amazing. So he does a spin with the hand attached to his foot, and then he kick skeets it and kicks the head. How awesome is that? That's amazing. I love that. That's one of the best skeets I've seen in a while. I want to say I love that skeet. I don't think he got the foot on his hand on purpose. The hand on his foot on purpose. But I would say it wasn't on purpose, but he capitalized on that so well. Like, normally, I think a lot of people would have kicked it off right away, but Assassin Pro is like, nah, I'm going to keep it on my foot. I'm going to keep it on my foot and do a 360, and then kick skeet it. I love that. This is a really nice skeet to top off the replay. And then he poses. Okay, Puzgo wants me to count the booms. So we'll do that. We'll do that together. It'll be a fun exercise. 3. That one's 4, I remember. And then this one. I need to opt for 0 for this. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there you go. 3, 4, 3 on the booms. Kick skeet, done. This is a really nice replay. I don't know, maybe I should have chosen some shittier replays for this stream. I think we'll get to those later. I remember having some less amazing replays, but I wanted to talk about this because I liked it, and I like Assassin Pro. So, that's that one. Oh, I remember this. Okay. So this is a Suion replay called Memorial Weekend 2. This is a tricking replay. This is a bit of me stepping out of my comfort zone. I don't normally talk about tricking. I don't do tricking, but I feel like I can put some insight onto this, because I feel like I know a little bit about tricking. I've made tricking replays before. I was really bad at tricking, I think. Other people said I wasn't terrible. I think I was. But I think I know a thing or two about tricking. So this is a pretty standard opening for tricking as far as I know. It's sort of like you extend the glutes, you rotate your chest so you can sort of spin around. And this whole opener, I think, as far as I know, this is standard. I've never done this, but as far as I know, it's pretty standard. I do want to say that maybe lowering his shoulder here is a little bit jerky. Like, he sort of raises and lowers his right shoulder here, goes up, down. But other than that, I don't have any problem with anything leading up to this first trick. And then the setup for that first cork, really nice. I like that. I didn't do much tricking. I mostly did either single tricks. All of my tricking that was more than one trick at a time was symmetrical. And then I made one parkour replay. That won a competition, I guess. So that's my tricking history. That's my experience. Okay, I'm gonna embarrass myself by saying all of these trick names wrong. Apparently, this is a donut hook and not a cork. I don't know how. Wait, no, that's the donut hook. The first thing is a cork, but then the second thing is a donut hook, right? Isn't that right? Is this not a cork? Oh wait, no, this is a butterfly twist. Now I remember. This is a butterfly twist, right? But overall, I think that is... Yeah, that's a butterfly twist. Okay, I'm not completely dumb. I don't know nothing about tricking, you guys. So that first butterfly twist, really nice. I have no complaints about that. That was really well executed, and did a really good job. He did a really good job at transitioning from that into a second trick. From my experience, the hard part of tricking is not call everything a twisty flip. That's basically what tricking is. But the hard thing about tricking is not the actual tricks themselves. The hard part about tricking is transitioning from one trick to another. So everything up to this point, and then this donut boy, I do know that this is a donut boy because that's when you sort of like lean over your hands like that. And then it's a hook. Apparently it's a donut hook because it's the donut boy into a hook kick. So that transition is really hot. I like all that. So then, what does he do from here? Let me slow it down. He lands, and that's the first thing I will talk about that I didn't like. So, butterfly twist, hook. Then here's my first issue with this replay. The transition at this point, like I was saying, transitioning is hard. So he comes in like this, and then this contracted. Oh shit! That contracted knee, I think, was a bit of a mistake. Like I don't think that's a tricking standard. Like he plants that foot. I think he could have gotten a little bit of a nicer spin, but then he pulls up this foot, and I don't think that's standard. I don't think that's what trickers do, especially take both your feet off the ground like this. I'm not a big fan of that move right there. Like it just doesn't fit the realism style of the replay. So I'll take points off for that transition right here, where it's sort of like he's scrambling on the ground. He's like kicking off the ground. But after that little scramble, it's really nice. He gets this nice spin on the ground. Is that another donut boy hook? He gets in this sort of crab position, swings his hands around, and then that whole setup, I really like when people sort of like stomp around. I don't know what it's called when people do that. I'm sure there's a name for everything in tricking, but I've always been a fan of that kind of setup where they sort of like switch from one foot to the other and they sort of stomp around and then push off. So, no, that's not a donut boy hook. That's just like a 360 hook or something. I don't know. Maybe it's like a 540 gyro hook. Some stupid shit like that. It's a twisty flip. And then he lands, and that transition is also really good, what he does there. So far, only complaint is that transition. This is really nice. That transition is really smooth. Oh, it's a cheap 360 hook. Damn, real close. So then that was a really short, like, quick spin. Let me go backwards real quick. Rewind that. And that's just sort of like a 360 or something. So we can set up for this gainer. Stomping is the cheat setup? Okay, sweet. Good to know. So then that's sort of like a gainer setup. I think that's a cork. And then he lands it. So overall, this is a very impressive tricking replay. I don't watch much tricking, but I really like. Oh, it's a swing through. My bad. Swing through into a cork. That's definitely a cork. I recognize that one. So this is a really nice tricking replay. I don't know about the difficulty of tricks because I'm stupid, but all of these tricks look very well executed. And my only major gripe with this replay is that one transition in between the Donut Boy hook and into the cheat whatever majiggy. And other than that, this is really well made, as far as I can tell. I'm not like I said, I'm not a tricking expert, but I can see that I can appreciate good tricking when I see it. I'm not completely dumb. So, good shit to Suion. I don't know what the fuck his name is. And we're gonna get right into the next one. We're gonna DL Try Zone. I'm gonna teach you to love again. This is my first not manipulation replay. Well, this is a not manipulation replay that I can talk about. So this is in Sambo. It's like a madman sort of thing. And now I can get into this. This is something that I can have more to say about. This is the kind of stuff that I really like talking about, actually, because I can give actual good criticism on this. I think I don't mind I don't mind replays outside of my spectrum. I'm saying you should send in replays at your own risk. If you want to send me a tricking replay, remember that you're sending me a tricking replay. I don't make tricking replays. So, I mean, if you think you're going to gain something out of it, you can send it in. But I'm just not guaranteeing my knowledge of that. I don't know. I just know that I'm not a tricking expert. So if you're sending me a tricking replay and I don't give you very good advice, that's your fault for sending me a tricking replay. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that I have no problem talking about those kind of replays because they interest me, but I'm saying I'm not an expert on them. I think that's why a lot of people send me manipulation replays, just because I'm a figurehead of the manipulation community. So they're like, oh, I'll send him my manipulation because this guy knows shit about manipulations. Anyway, this guy. He starts off, little spin, kicks off the ground, and does this double fist on the ground to spin himself around. I've always been a really big fan of using both your hands, like push yourself off the ground. I think it just inherently looks cool. I'm a really big fan of it. He's just sort of like, I don't know, it looks cool, doesn't it? Does it not look cool? He's got both his hands down there. He's like, yeah, he's pushing himself around. I like it. He gets a really nice spin out of that. He swings himself around. He sort of like pushes off the ground with his foot, 360, lands on both of his feet. And this is the beginning of where the replay starts to be less impressive. This opener is actually awesome as fuck. I love this opener. I really like this spin that he does out of it. But then he lands, and then he sort of stops. That's a problem. It's always a really important thing in replays to keep your momentum going. So he builds up all this sick momentum in the opener, and then drops down, lands on both of his feet, and then both of his feet are locked to the ground. And that's bad. You don't want a large chunk of your body just be stagnant like that. So I don't know. I think maybe if he had landed with his feet more staggered. From what I've seen, if you land with your feet like right side by side like that, it's not as cool. I think if he had maybe left his left leg a little bit further back, put his left leg a little bit further back, then okay, never mind. I think tricking is cool, I think tricking is interesting, but you need to know a little bit about tricking to understand it. It's like, I think manipulations are the same way. I think that if you don't make a type of replay, it's a lot harder to understand and appreciate the type of replays you're watching. So that's why I feel like a lot of communities are in their own little sections. They're classic replay makers, they're realism replay makers, and they all talk amongst themselves and talk about how cool they are. I know I talk about how cool we are as classic replay makers. Anyway, so he stops his momentum. Bam. Get back to the replay. And then he comes up and gets his first kick. It's just this whole movement, for lack of a better term, it's kind of a cliche word to use, and I don't like it when people say it, but it's sort of stiff. He's got both his arms out. It looks like he's just sort of holding all at this point. It looks like he's just sort of holding all, and he kicks the knee. And I also don't like how when he kicks the knee, he holds his knee afterwards. I really like it when you can follow through on your kicks, unless you have a good reason for it. A really good reason to not follow up on your kicks is when you're trying to do a bunch of really fast kicks. So it's you're doing so you need to retract your foot so you can get another kick out with that foot as fast as possible. But he doesn't do that in this case, so I think it would have been better if he had fully extended his knee. Then he comes up with his other leg and breaks the other knee. You can see that his foot sort of caught on something. I think it was on Yuke's foot or something. I think it was on Yuke's foot here. And that's bad. You want your foot to... he catches on his own foot. That's even worse. You want your foot to kind of go unimpeded into anything you do. And then he comes up with a knee to get that decap. And the problem with this combo is that it's just he's got all these really nice spins in the opener, and then he just abandons them. The opener has nothing to do with the follow-up for it. And also, just the position of his Tori doing this is kind of boring. It's just him facing Yuke and kicking him. He's facing, kicking, blah, blah, blah. And it's you're just going to limit yourself to that? That's not what Tor Bash is about to me. I feel like you should let yourself experiment with more of the stuff that you're capable of doing while in the Tor Bash universe. So, gets that knee decap. Gets this grab so he can do another follow-up. So he comes in, punches the dick. Gets a 2DM right there. And then he comes in with his leg to get a pec dismemberment there. So, and all these hits are effective. I'm not going to say that they're not strong or something, but I feel like there's no real thread connecting them. He has a really hard time transitioning in between his hits, it seems like. All of the hits by themselves are not terrible. They're strong, they're accurate, they do their job very well. But the problem is that his transitions in between the hits, they don't add up to something cohesive. They feel all disconnected. He's not keeping a good flow in between all these hits. I don't really know what to say except just watch what you're doing and make sure that what you're doing is not, it looks cool. He's just sort